All right, so this is a suggestion via Patreon. The name of the video is The Solution to the Fermi Paradox Found. Scientists hope they're wrong. Guys, listen. The one theory about space and aliens and the universe and things that I generally try to stay away from is the Fermi Paradox, because it's the most confusing. And it's one of these things where I don't want to even really seriously put any thought into it, because it's like, look at the level of technology we have been able to kind of, come up with in this last 130 years as the human race, guys. Think about that for a second. So now, wouldn't a society somewhere out there with more time based off the, the age of the universe, wouldn't they have been able to come up with most likely more? Wouldn't they have been able to figure out how not to allow your muscles to basically turn to jello with, space travel? Could they have figured out how to fold space, maybe? Right? Think about that. They could have done all these things. But if that's the case, where are they? Where are they? And here we have the Fermi Paradox. Guys, this is the most confusing one, guys. I'm telling you. Because it's like, I want it to exist, right? Aliens and things like that, because it only makes sense in my head that they do exist based off the vastness of the universe and the age of the universe. I want it to exist, but where are they? Do they just not like us? I don't know. But all right, let's check it out. Let's go and jump into this video. Where is alien life?
If we consider our solar system is typical of billions and billions of other similar systems, then where are all the extraterrestrials? The universe should be full of intelligent life by now that would create some kind of signal that's easy to detect. Yet, we've seen and heard nothing.
None. Right.
There's one possible solution to the unnerving silence of the cosmos, and it could be the most chilling answer to why we've heard from no one. Okay. Because if an alien civilization does exist out there somewhere, they certainly know we're here, and that's something that should scare all of us.
And they just don't like us. I'm telling you, we're weird, bro. We are. They're like, why am I going to talk to these people who still have battles with each other over nonsense, over borders and politics? Why are we still doing this? Right? Yeah, pointless.
You may have heard the term Fermi paradox before. In its simplest form, the term asks the question, if intelligent life is common in the universe, then where is everybody? You might be thinking that the physicist Fermi wrote papers on the subject, and that his life work was based around finding aliens. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Enrico Fermi was a physicist who created the world's first prototype nuclear reactor. He never really wrote much about extraterrestrials. Fermi was chatting with colleagues at a lunch in Los Alamos about a cartoon showing aliens emerging from a flying saucer carrying trash cans stolen from New York City. That's when Fermi asked, "Where is everybody?" Everyone understood he was referring to the fact that there wasn't any solid evidence of alien visits to our big blue planet.
Right.
The conversation then turned to the topic of interstellar travel, where Fermi concluded interstellar flight might not be possible, might not be worth the effort, or a technological civilization doesn't last long enough to invent interstellar travel. Keep in mind that Fermi was studying this in 1950, when rockets hadn't yet reached Earth's orbit. The so-called Fermi paradox, which questions the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations, actually misrepresents Fermi's views. Fermi didn't question the possibility of alien civilizations, only their ability to have interstellar travel. So what is the Fermi paradox if Fermi didn't create it?
Okay. Now you're confusing me then.
In 1975, an astronomer by the...
I guess I learned about the Fermi paradox through kind of like a game of telephone, I guess, right? I can only imagine how things tend to get skewed if you hear it from one person, then hear about it from another person, then another person. I can only imagine. So if it wasn't about the idea that they existed or did not exist, and it was purely about the concept of like interstellar travel, that makes all the sense in the world, because I can definitely tell you, it seems rough, bro. Like, how can you make a living being be the same living being with the same like physical capabilities right, exist in the slightly same manner on another planet, right? Like the entire travel there is going to deteriorate the body in a way that you might as well not even do it, right? And we already know the concept of cryogenics is absolutely silly, right? We know that, at least in the way that sci-fi generally speaks about it. Like, that's not possible, bro. Once you freeze that person, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. That's it.
The name of Michael Hart penned an article in which he said, "They are not here, therefore they do not exist."
Yeah,
Hart's claim was that if smart aliens existed, they would inevitably colonize the Milky Way. He believed that if they were anywhere, they would be here by now. But since they aren't, and we've seen no signs of aliens, it means that humans are the only intelligent life in our galaxy. And if that's the case, then looking for intelligent life elsewhere is probably a waste of time and money.
Resources.
But then another famous physicist named Frank Tipler came along in 1980 and elaborated on Hart's assessment and asked the big question, where would a civilization get the resources needed to colonize 1 billion stars? He came up with an interesting idea
by coming to other planets and taking all their resources so they can go to more stars.
Civilization could build an artificially intelligent machine comparable to the current human level that could replicate itself. If you sent one of these out to a neighboring star and told it to build copies of itself using local materials in that system, then you could send those copies out to another neighboring star until the galaxy would be crawling with these self-replicating machines.
But then we would see
Tipler said that since we haven't seen any of these machines, that we're the only intelligent civilization in the galaxy.
And guys, if you've ever seen Stargate SG-1, you know how terrible the replicators are. So let's not go ahead and let's not do that right there, okay? No replicators. Stop being disrespectful. As long as they don't exist, they should continue to not exist, all right? No self-replicating machines, none of that. Oh, God, guys. No.
Now, we really have no idea how many advanced alien civilizations might be out there that could pull off such a feat. But a man by the name of Frank Drake came up with an equation that gives us a rough estimate of the number of civilizations in our galaxy that might have signals we could detect. And those civilizations could exist in the thousands. Many different solutions to the Fermi paradox have been suggested over the years. One solution to the so-called Fermi paradox might be the scariest solution of them all. It's called the Dark Forest Theory, written by Chinese science fiction writer Lai Cixin. And it's possibly the most chilling theory, as you'll soon find out.
Just start telling me right now.
Imagine the universe as a vast dark forest, and us humans, along with other advanced civilizations out there, are the hunters. The hunter doesn't light a torch to draw attention to himself.
Right.
To be noticed might be harmless, but on the other hand...
Oh, no. Bro, this is terrible. All right? This is terrible. Listen, you're right. It may be this. This is probably the most plausible of them all. Like, for real. Guys, what if this super advanced society was out there looking for things? They see us, absolutely. But why would they allow us to see them? Why? Bro, are we living in a dark forest? Are we in the dark forest? Why? You're right. Why would the hunter shine the light? It would just blind us. Well, I guess that's a deer. We're not deer. But you get what I'm saying here, right? Like, this guy has something.
It could bring the jaws of a hungry lion, or even worse, get the attention of another competing hunter. Right. Now, we don't have interstellar travel yet, but as far as interstellar communication, it's possible with technologies and equipment that's already available. Lasers could easily send signals across the galaxy. Of course, there could be delays in the signal, assuming the limitations of the speed of light. But we've done a lot more than just send out some radio signals. In fact, we've done everything but be silent, from deliberately sending messages and spacecraft out into space to unintentionally sending out radio and TV signals which leak into space. The Voyager probes are already on their way out of the solar system.
And when I say that we're loud, I'm not saying like audibly, because I'm not sure they could actually hear us because there's no oxygen in space. There's nothing for sound to actually grab onto to transfer long distances. But you get what I'm saying here. I mean, radio, I'm sure, could work.
And if there is intelligent civilization out there, they could be intercepted. These two probes basically carry all of humanity with them. That could be a good
Voyager
thing,
1 and 2?
or it could be a bad thing.
It's a bad thing.
That said, we've more than lit the torch in the dark forest. The next question is who or what will spot our signal and come back to check it out.
The Anunnaki.
This should make everyone nervous.
Maybe the Asgard.
Famous science fiction writer Arthur C.
Probably
Clarke
the Asgard,
once said
guys.
that two possibilities exist. Either we're alone in the universe, or we're not. Both are equally terrifying.
Right.
We should understand that it's impossible to know the intentions of a newly contacted civilization if one was ever found. It could be possible that some alien civilization could have studied us, seen our destructive nature, and decided it's better to leave us alone. We could end up wiping ourselves off the planet, let alone worrying if someone will do this to us. We could end up being lucky, and a more advanced civilization would step in to help us reach the stars and become an interplanetary species by sharing their technology with us. There might be peace on Earth after the realization of not being alone in the universe.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm not sure that a super advanced society would just willingly share technology with us peasants, guys. I'm sure. Like, I'm just gonna be honest here, and that's probably not a thing, right? Why would they? So we can use it against them? Look at how we are on Earth. Why would they give us anything? Exactly. Look at how we are. We're terrible.
But we need to be realistic and ask ourselves, why would another civilization do this? Another advanced civilization out there might be scared to death of what we could do to them if they were discovered. On the other hand, it might be in civilization's best interests to shoot first and ask questions later to avoid being destroyed or wiped out by another more advanced civilization, as we've seen in several science fiction films like War of the Worlds. Nobody knows who would annihilate who in the first meeting. It's pretty much a given that if a civilization has discovered interstellar travel, their weapons technology is likely far more advanced than anything we have here on Earth. That's what the dark forest theory is. That it's possible all other civilizations out there in the cosmos have chosen to remain silent for fear of being destroyed. But the scariest thing about this remains, and there's nothing we can do about it now. We've just been too noisy.
I'm gonna be honest, that's probably the best one. It is.
It could be that there are many different extraterrestrial civilizations out there that know we exist. But the reason we don't know about them yet is because they haven't been transmitting signals like we've been doing from Earth. An intelligent civilization out there that's discovered Earth might not see us as a threat to them, since we haven't reached a technological level for interstellar space travel. But they could be waiting for that moment. They could be waiting to see if we will continue to be a peaceful race, or if our planet will just become uninhabitable to all life anyway.
Yeah,
However,
that's
it would
plausible.
be really tough for another advanced civilization to stop accidentally sending out radio signals into space like
Bro, am I freezing?
we do, unless they're more advanced and use another form of communication that we cannot see, hear, or understand. And that brings us to another possibility as to why we don't see or hear anything from space. Maybe there really isn't anyone out there. That's pretty hard to believe, since there are as many as 40 billion Earth-sized planets in habitable zones. But despite the fact that the universe may be teeming with hospitable planets, there's no guarantee they'll stay that way long enough for life to evolve. According to a recent study from Australian National University, wet, rocky planets like Earth are very unstable when they're first formed. If any kind of alien life hopes to evolve and thrive on a Terran planet, there's a very limited window of just a few 100 million years to get everything moving. Think about our own planet and what it's been through.
Window.
From a ball of lava being pummeled by asteroids to a freezing ball of ice and then back again. The chances for life to succeed on an initially wet, rocky planet in the habitable zone is extremely difficult. It's not that life might be...
Listen, it's not that difficult. Well, no. Sorry, it is extremely difficult. But that's only if we look at it through the lens of the alien race, right? Being exactly like us. Right? I mean, think about it. I'm not sure that another being on another planet would be identical to us. Guys, it could be like a silicone-based life form. Imagine for a second. Not carbon, silicone. I don't know, right? Just think about it for a second, right? So what we would call habitable, they may not, guys, right? So, but all right, listen.
rare or hard to get started in the universe. but the habitable environments aren't stable during the first billion years. Of course, thanks to our Earth, here we are.
Okay.
We know from our own discoveries that the universe is a deadly place. All it takes is a supernova, a gamma ray burst, a solar flare, or a huge asteroid to wipe out life on a planet.
Yeah, bro, the solar flare is definitely going to take us out if Bennu doesn't. We have two options here, right? either an asteroid that's coming to us, bro. All right, just keep that in mind. We have two options of our demise. It's going to be a singular asteroid that is honestly going to... It may get really unnecessarily close to us, guys. I'm telling you, it's scary. That's like an ELE level type of thing, right? Or a solar flare from the sun. Pick one. I'm going to say, I hope neither of them. I'm not going to be here, so I guess I'm fine for now. But you guys also, you guys are fine.
We know some of those things have happened right here on Earth. It might be difficult to deal with the fact that we're the only intelligent life in the Milky Way, or perhaps the entire universe. Perhaps after all these billions of years, other civilizations have come and are now long gone, and maybe we're the last ones left in the universe. As for the Fermi paradox, there really isn't one. We can't say that aliens exist or not because no one knows if travel between star systems is possible in the first place.
Right.
There was a lot of excitement when the Central Intelligence Agency declassified thousands of UFO documents. In some of those 3 million documents, there was not enough evidence to identify objects caught on aircraft instruments. Maybe extraterrestrials are here now, and we just don't know about them. Regardless of whether we have or haven't been visited by extraterrestrials in our galaxy, UFO experts say that humanity is closer than ever to finding the existence of alien life. With all the telescopes we have searching, we're bound to find something.
Guys, I believe this. We are absolutely, maybe not in any of our lifetimes, we're going to have some real concrete evidence, I think, eventually. Maybe not in our lifetimes. If it's some type of USO, right? Maybe some being living in the Mariana Trench, potentially. Right? Or in Middle Earth. I'm just making things up now, guys. But you get what I'm saying. They could be already here. They could be living in the core of our planet. You get what I mean, though. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.